these last 6 months have been a period of growth for everyone, because while it's halted everything, it's also given us the opportunity to reflect on ourselves. I was very optimistic about applying to college.
Good morning, everyone.
All my life, my parents had always been like, college, college, college. So now that the application process was starting, it felt like my first step into realizing that American dream. I was listening to Frank Ocean on my way home, and I was just thinking about high school, college, and just like how uncertain everything is.
There was a student who had received a text from a friend at another high school in Arlington and said that we were going to be closing.
I heard this like huge yell. So then I go ask some of my friends who were eating lunch, and they're like, we have school canceled until mid-April.
If we don't go back this year, I don't know. I don't know what that will look like, to be honest with you. I don't know.
I'm still in awe. It's been 2 months, and it still hasn't hit me that I'm here. You're gonna be okay. Even though it doesn't look like it, you're gonna be okay.
You always hear these stories about like nothing bad happens in America. You're gonna be safe in America. You're gonna have all these resources in America. Nobody gets sick. Nothing bad can happen.
And by the alarming levels of inaction. We have therefore made the assessment that COVID-19 can be characterized as a pandemic.
Bottom line, it's going to get worse.
The death toll rising here in the U.S. to at least 36, more than 1,200 cases now reported in 42 states and Washington, D.C.
All schools closing in a growing number of states.
45 states have shut down schools entirely. More than 52 million students now forced to learn from home.
Today, I am directing all schools in Virginia to remain closed at least through the end of this academic year.
I miss cohort, and now that the governor said that we will not be returning to school for the rest of the academic year, it really saddens me.
So I'm outside my apartment building. Just finished a walk. I had to get out or I was gonna go insane.
Do you have your phone and your computer on?
I was not expecting this in any way, shape, or form.
Nice job with the shirts.
My concern in the back of my mind was what's going to happen with them at home, because some of them, their time at school gives them their alone time and they can focus on themselves and their studies.
I'm the person that like literally won't get home till 7 or 8 because I usually have like track practice and track meets, government meetings. My family is not used to me being at home 24/7. I'm not used to being at home 24/7. I never feel like at peace. I'm always doing work in my room. I'm always doing work next to my bed. So when I go on my bed to finally rest, I still feel like the stress of all the work that I have done and all the work I still have to do.
So now we're working to support and provide instruction without being around them. So it's just a totally different feel to it.
I feel like I'm losing a part of myself because before all this happened, I started saying, okay, like I'm going to get my life on track. Like I'm about to leave for college. So I applied to a job. I was starting to go to the gym. I was doing better at school. So not being able to walk across that stage, I can't ever move on from that. Like I'm going to graduate, yes, but I won't be like any other class that graduates.
I was a class representative like all 4 years of high school. So like I was president, I was vice president, I was secretary, I was treasurer. But this year I'm vice president. So I like spent hours on end, you know, doing bake sales, doing pizza sales, doing concessions, doing dances, decorating dances, like raising all this money, about like $20,000 to do my prom. So like just now that my prom is canceled, I kind of feel like I was running like a 4-year race that just like I didn't win. This is just something that every immigrant child imagines. Like you see the movies, you see the American movies, like, oh my gosh, like, you know, you see the prom and you see the graduation. The movies didn't tell us that this could happen.
What I was feeling this time last year was I was really nervous because I had seen for the first time what my parents made in a year, and I realized that 1, I wasn't Pell Grant eligible, 2, we don't have any funds to pay for college, and 3, how am I even supposed to pay for the applications? So I realized that I had already had 3 strikes against me. My dad flat out said, I am not going into debt for you. I'm the first person across everywhere to go to a 4-year university, so part of that was one of the reasons why I think they ended up saying yes.
But my mom was definitely like, yeah, you need to go where like the education is, the money is. I love you, but I'll see you later.
My parents don't really know the system. I have a mom who works in the health field. I have younger siblings. I have to worry about that. I have to worry about my mom. I have to worry about my dad that's on another continent.
All the stories that I hear about when we were younger and how my mom was really struggling to take care of us. Everybody was worried because I couldn't talk until I was 4. And she put me through speech therapy and special education classes. And my younger sister was the one trying to communicate for all of us. I was always like, why isn't me? Why am I different? What did I do to deserve all of this? I was just thinking that, and for most of the time, I couldn't communicate any of that.
I've been working tirelessly every single day of my education years to make sure that I made my parents proud. And as the first child of an immigrant family, I was going to be the first one to walk across that stage.
Miss Maitland and Mr. Cotman were talking to us about what we were doing. I think some of us weren't as engaged as we would have been in person. Since Mr. Cotman came this year, having him through that college process got us very close to him. I don't really reach out to Mr. Cotman as much, even though throughout this process he's been very helpful to me. I feel like I'm kind of distancing myself from him.
My wife just got her results from her coronavirus test, and it's negative. I guess emotionally, it's just, it wears on you because you're wondering, what the results are. We have a little 18-month-old, so thinking about her. I feel like on the video call, I wasn't saying a lot. It felt like just one more thing on top of a lot of other things, so I didn't really feel like I was prepared to do those.
I still enjoy the Zoom calls, but it's not the same as being in the room. In that room, like nothing bad could ever happen. And I would feel like a lot lighter because like I would not have to like wear the armor. I kind of feel like I'm bothering them if it's like email or Zoom. So I kind of feel like more of a bother or burden.
Okay, I'm gonna say hi.
Hello.
Well, I met her sophomore year because that was the first year I did band. And then from there, I think our relationship just got stronger with each passing year.
This is like really awkward.
I know, because like I love you, but at the same time, I don't plan like my conversations with you. We didn't have parents that like necessarily went to 4-year colleges here. We don't have older siblings that could tell us or help us. He was the only other one who understood, while everybody else was like, why can't you balance everything? Well, I don't have parents literally writing my essays for me.
My mom thankfully got her visa when she was 5 months pregnant with me and was able to come to the United States from El Salvador. While my mom flew over here and was waiting, basically they had an agreement of you fly and I'll find you wherever you are in the United States. 3,000 miles of swimming, walking, caravans. I don't know how he did it. We don't really talk about that time period because it brings back a lot of memories. But he said he did it for me and for the opportunity of achieving a better life.
He honestly doesn't think much of himself, which really makes me mad. He knows he wants to help his community. He wants to help the nation. Like, he knows he needs to have that impact to motivate people to do the same.
She just puts me at ease. She's such a moving force. Like, there's nothing around her that can really stop her. Like, when she puts her mind to something, she gets it done.
So right now I'm at my desk and my sister is on her bed. But we just finished a church service. Always it's important to hold on to one's beliefs and values at a time like this.
I got a scholarship yesterday for $1,500 from the Untitled Community Foundation. Super blessed to have gotten that. I have committed to VCU.
I'm so lucky to have this problem, I guess, to be overwhelmed by so many choices of amazing classes at one of the best universities, you know? A couple of my friends have been confirmed to have COVID-19, and they're like good people and they don't do anything. And, you know, I'm just wondering how and why. Because like they're good people, they follow the rules, and I don't know.
Tonight, video has surfaced of an African-American man being chased down and killed. His family says he was just out jogging.
It really makes you feel like there's no hope in this world. What is in store for us? It's just been such a wild ride this year. And it's just been going downhill since.
The officer who was kneeling on his neck had his hand in his pocket like it was nothing. Like it was just another day's work. Any one of us could have been in that same position.
Well, I'll tell you all, I told Ms. Balin before we got on this call that I'm having a really hard day. I've been having a really hard week because I watched that video and I cannot get him calling for his mother out of my head. It was disgusting and painful to watch. I wish I had not watched it.
Wasn't there another incident? Someone by the name like Taylor who shot in her own apartment?
There's so many, and there are many more that we don't even know about.
It just surprises me a lot how people seem to focus on, again, like the aspects of Black culture, and then when it comes to the issue of like Black lives, it's dead silent. So if I want to like piggyback off of what my sister said, I don't know what it is about the specific event of George Floyd, but it's really just had me reevaluating what America has meant to me and what it's even meant to my family. How can America be a place of opportunity to the point where he would leave us here, have us migrate here
for better opportunities, but he couldn't even find it safe enough for him to stay here. My mom brought us here for a better education to make sure that we have the opportunities that they didn't have. At the cost, my dad still lives in Nigeria. I've been raised without him my entire life. It's been like exhausting, to say one word, I guess. To reflect on the unrest that's going on, it's like before 7th grade, if I was still in that same environment, I would not have any growth. Like, just because of my skin color and my race, I would not have gotten the recognition that I knew I deserved. Most of my bad interactions were with my teachers that could call like security or administration, and then it could be like out of hand. So like I was accused of stealing, and I was like, I was loud, I was angry. You're probably dumb, like you don't understand this, like you probably eat this hyenas, and your dad probably lives in a hut. You're not supposed to be in this class. This is the honors class. You can't be in this class. No. It was bad. Like my mental state, like I really thought I was not going to get to this point. They made it seem to be impossible. At Wakefield is like, hey, Beck, girl, we know you smart. They pump you up. Miss Maitland gets so mad when I'm here talking about how dumb I am. She's like, hey, shut up. She won't say shut up, but like she's like, don't say that.
America has plunged into chaos. The recent deaths of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, they're all fueling massive demonstrations nationwide. Protesters and activists are demanding justice for Black Americans that have been recently killed by police and facing systemic...
I've been going through it the last couple of weeks. My wife is worried about me sometimes, and we're hugging and crying together. It's hard. My advice to you, because I care about you and I love you, you all need to be so careful. You really do. I mean, it's a burden to have to think about all the things we have to think about as men of color just to stay safe. But it's a reality. I think it's great if our society actually takes these things seriously this time. But in the meantime, you take care of yourselves. You protest how you want to protest. You take care of your mental health. You cry if you need to cry. You yell if you need to yell. However you feel, your feelings are validated. We're here for you. We got you. And you all have each other.
I don't know if you can see the car. It's down there, right there. But I'm so nervous. The day's finally here.
Congrats, sis!
Want them to be safe and healthy. There's a dimension to it of surviving and navigating the world and not taking on such a weight that it impacts their identity or how they see themselves. Those types of issues that come along with dealing with racism.
I think I saw on Instagram, it was like 2020 isn't the year we're going to cancel. 2020 is the year that we will remember.
if you tell the people that hurt me every single day that I'm speaking at my high school graduation because I had the intellect and the intelligence they doubted that I had or didn't think I deserved, then they would be surprised. I just am really grateful for my experience at Wakefield and just to celebrate the fact that like I have come to feel like worthy.
I have to stick a swab down my throat. This is so crazy. There is a potential for a false positive or a false negative. What?
07/27. Classes start in 20 days. Stop.
I talk to my mom sometimes about how I'm feeling. Coming to the US as a young mom, not knowing the language, not knowing the culture, not knowing the people, all for someone who she hasn't met yet so that she could give them a better life. This whole virus got me thinking about how when my mom and dad would read to me at night, I didn't know that them reading it slowly was them actually starting to learn the language as well. So I kind of think of it as like I grew with them.
I just went to get my immunization records completed for VCU, just so I can knock that out of the way. Yeah, it's my first time coming to the doctors by myself without my parents. I don't like adulting. Last day of work. Complete. ¿Qué? Ya me voy, José. Ya me voy. Gracias, igualmente. Ahí lo veo en noviembre. Cuando venga de nuevo.
Okay, so I really don't know what I'm doing. About 2 nights before my move-in, and my 3 suitcases are empty. My sister. Food. And game 7. And there's my bag.
I don't want to go. This is, time has come. Yeah.
I'm gonna miss my sister a lot. I'm gonna miss my mom. I'm missing my dad right now. I know God is on my side.
What do you want me to put the parking pass? 1 hour away. I wasn't able to digest a full meal until Tuesday from how nervous I was. It was that bad.
I'm just so excited to like travel like nationally and like be on a plane. I've never been on campus. This is like college. Because Washington University, like campus is amazing. And like when you think of like American college system, like the school fits exactly.
My mom got kind of emotional, and then my brother hugged me really hard. And my dad was kind of like, see you later. I no longer was part of the nest, you know what I mean? I felt different.
I love you, Mommy. Okay. I miss you too. Oh. It took me a while to appreciate my mom's sacrifices and like my parents' sacrifices. But I was that kid that was like, oh, I can't take it. They're putting so much pressure on me. I can't wait to leave this house. And then like once she left, I was like, whoa, I really missed my mom.
Faith is going off. She's going to a place where she doesn't know anyone. And I'm suspecting that the racial makeup is a lot different. So she is going to rely a lot on her faith. I just hope that she actually isn't too hard on herself. Luis, whenever he makes it to VCU, that we all know is a very mixed group. And so I think he's going to feel comfortable. He's just going to need time to find people that he can speak honestly with.
Sometimes I have to remind myself that I can't indulge in privileges that others have at college of just like, I'm not gonna make it to this 10 a.m. or I'm just not gonna submit this assignment. You know, my parents are really riding out on me to do well. My family is, and I can't disappoint.
And now I'm in my own room. I've had so much space that I ever imagined, but it feels lonely. Like, I used to wake up with somebody like checking in on me, or like if I wasn't okay, there was somebody to notice. The biggest flex is being able to give a presentation from your pool in your gigantic house. I don't know if you remember our Zooms. I would be in my room that I shared with my sister, beg my sister not to come into our small room that we had in our small apartment. Being like treated as an intellectual has definitely given me the confidence to like speak my opinions and not really second guess myself. I feel more comfortable in like my own like skin and like in the world that I'm living in.
My dad said that we will make it through these 4 years. We'll find a way to find the money. We'll find a way to graduate. He said that he didn't really get to enjoy my high school graduation, so he's looking forward to my college graduation.
Now I'm here, I'm in the same place where people didn't want me here, but I am here, receiving the same education. And nobody can tell me nothing.
Even though I had like not a picket fence childhood, I'm really thankful about how they raised me. I can start building who I want to be and how I want to see myself. I think my motto has always been, it doesn't cost anything to be a decent human being, being a good citizen to the world.